Hi everyone, it's Miss Rossi. Today we are going to make a collage of a hand holding some flowers inspired by Pablo Picasso. What you'll be needing today is your flowers and hands paper from your art folder. This should be all different kinds of construction paper. We have some different colored pieces that are cut out nice and small. We also have a white piece of paper and a blue piece of paper. We're also going to need a glue stick, a pencil, an eraser, some scissors, and something to color with. I have some crayons here that I'm going to use today to add color, but you can use whatever you have at home to add color to your picture. Whether you want to use crayons, markers, paint, colored pencils, anything will work. I'm going to just take my label off and then carefully take off all of my pieces of construction paper from this staple. It's okay if they rip a little bit. So we got to see Pablo Picasso's picture of a hand holding a bouquet of flowers, and we're going to make a collage of that today. Now, a collage is when we are cutting out all different pieces of paper and gluing them together to make our picture. I'm going to put my colored pieces of paper to the side and hold on to my white paper and my blue paper. My blue paper is going to be my background, so I'm just going to leave that on the table for now, and I'm going to grab my white piece of paper to start. Now we are going to make a collage of a hand holding a bouquet of flowers. Now this is a great picture you can give as a gift to someone. Mother's Day is coming up, so maybe you want to give this to mom or to grandma or any other person in your family who you think deserves some flowers. The first thing we're going to do is on our white piece of paper with our pencil, we are going to trace our hand. Now I want to spread my fingers out so it is easier to trace, and I'm making sure my hand is at the center of my page. So from the edge, I'm just going to follow along with my hand, going all the way around it with my pencil. You should end up with something that looks like this. The next thing we're going to do is pick a color that matches our skin tone. So we all have unique colored skin. We want to pick a color that matches us the best. I think this one looks pretty close for me. And I am just going to color in my hand. I'm going to start by tracing around the outside where my pencil line is, just so it is easier to see. And then I know where I should be coloring in. It's okay if we go outside the lines a little bit on this because we are going to be cutting it out, so it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Now that I have it traced, I am going to just fill it in nice and neatly, trying to stay inside the lines, coloring back and forth slowly, practicing my best coloring skills to fill in the entire space. I don't want to see any white spaces left. I want to make sure my hand is fully colored in. Perfect. I'm going to grab my scissor and I'm going to cut out my hand from my white paper. So very carefully, I am going to follow along my crayon lines and just cut out my entire hand. As I am cutting, I am turning my paper with my helping hand, my non-scissor hand, and I am just opening and closing my scissor in the same spot. I'm going nice and slowly because I do have to follow all of these curves of my fingers, and I'm making sure as I am cutting that my helping hand is far away from the end of my scissor because I don't want to cut my real fingers. There we go. I can throw out my scraps because I don't need those anymore. And I'm going to do something a little strange. I'm going to flip my paper over, and with that same crayon I used to color in my hand, I'm actually going to color in the back as well. I'm going to color in the fingers and the hand on the back of the hand that I just cut out. Again, we want to make sure we fill in all of that white space, really focusing on the fingers on this side because we're going to end up bending this paper and we'll see this side when we're done. So I want to make sure my fingers are nicely colored in on this side. All right, that should be good. I don't have to color in the entire thing. I just did the fingers and my hand. I am going to take my hand and just put it to the side for right now with my blue paper. And I'm going to grab all my different colors of construction paper. Now with these, I am going to start to cut out some flower shapes. You can decide what kinds of flowers you would like to make. You can have circle flowers, you can have big petals. It is up to you. We looked at Picasso's work and talked about how he was an abstract artist, meaning that he was making pictures that didn't totally look realistic. They just looked like shapes and lines. So you can make your flowers look like that too. Now you should have 2 pieces of green paper, so I am going to pull one of those out and save that for my stems, but all of my other papers I can use to make flowers. I am going to start by picking some colors and just cutting out some circles, and those are going to be the inside of my flowers. So I'm going to make an orange circle, I'm going to make a yellow circle, and these are kind of small, and I think I'm going to make a purple one. With my scissor, I am just going to cut these out to start. And now I have these center parts of my flower. I am going to take some of my other colors here. I have blue and red and green. And I am just going to draw my flower around this circle. So I'm doing a big bouncy hill kind of line that is making like big U shapes going all the way around. And I'm just going to take my glue stick and glue down that little yellow circle that I cut out. I'm putting glue so it is covering up the pencil lines so I won't see those. I'm just going to place that at the center of my flower that I just drew. And now I can cut this out of my red paper and I have my first flower. You can make your flowers whatever shapes you would like. If you want to have some bouncy and wavy lines going around your center circles to make your flower petals, you can do that. Maybe you just want big round flowers. Maybe you want big spiky flowers. It is up to you. That looks pretty good. I'm going to put that one to the side. And let's see, I think I'm going to make a blue flower. I think I'm going to glue my circle down first, making sure I'm adding glue on the side with the pencil lines, pressing that into my blue paper. And I think I'm going to make a spiky flower on my blue paper. So I'm just doing a zigzag line going all the way around that purple circle, leaving a lot of space in between my circle and that pencil line that I just drew. And now I can cut it out. Excellent, so now I have 2 different shaped flowers that I can use. I have one more circle. I'm going to add some glue on the back of that orange circle on that side where I can still see those pencil lines. And then I think I'm going to make this flower one big circle, and then I'm going to cut some lines into it once I cut it out. So I'm going to cut out a nice big green circle around my orange dot. And then I'm just going to make some snips around the edge with my scissor nice and carefully. And then I can bend up my flower and make it a little bit 3D. So I can bend all of these little sections that I just cut to make an interesting shaped flower too. You can make as many flowers as you would like. And you can make whatever shaped flowers you would like too. I think I'm going to make 2 more. I'm going to make another one that's big with another big bouncy line. all of my different flower shapes cut out, I'm going to put those to the side with my hand and clean up all of my paper scraps. The only paper I need right now is that green piece of paper that I did not cut. So on my green piece of paper, I am going to cut out some stems for all of my different flowers. To do that, I just need some nice long green rectangles. So with my pencil, I'm going to draw some lines on my paper that are vertical, going up and down. And I am just going to cut along these lines to cut out some rectangles. So very carefully, I can snip along my pencil line, and I will get a perfect rectangle that I can use as my flower stem. Now I need one stem for each of my flowers. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different flowers. So I need 5 stems. There's 3, 4, one more. 5, perfect. If you have extra green paper, you can cut out some leaves also to add to your stems if you would like. Now I am going to start to glue my flowers onto their stems. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue at the top of each stem and then stick on my flower. All right, now I have all of my flowers done. I have my hand and I have my background paper all ready. I'm going to gather up all of my flowers and their stems, and I'm going to grab my background paper and my hand. The first thing I'm going to do is I am going to glue my hand onto my paper. You can decide which way you want your hand coming out. I think I'm going to have mine coming out from the bottom corner, but you can put yours coming from whatever part of your paper you would like. Our hand is going to be holding our flowers, so you want to position it in a way where we can bend our fingers to make it look like we're holding something. So I am just going to grab some glue, and I am adding glue to the side that I didn't finish coloring. So the side that I only colored in the fingers and the hand, the other side that will be sticking up is fully colored in. When I'm adding glue, I'm making sure to only add glue to the bottom and to the center of my hand. I am not putting glue on my fingers. We do not want to put glue on our fingers today, just on the center of our hand and on our arm. I am just going to glue my hand down to my paper. It's okay if it hangs off the edge a little bit. Again, pressing down the center of my hand and the arm. Now I'm going to grab my flowers and I'm going to arrange them in my hand. So you can decide, maybe you want some that are lower than others, maybe you want some high up. You can see how you want them to layer on your paper. Now I'm going to glue all of my stems together and right onto the center of my hand. Again, I don't want to add any glue onto my fingers, so I am just going to put a little bit of glue on the center of my hand, and I'm going to press down my stems on there. Now, since I did layer my stems over the top of each other, I am going to keep adding glue on top of each stem before I put on the next one, just so I know they will all stick. There we go. So I have all of my flowers layered right on the center of my hand. I'm carefully going to now bend my fingers. So I'm going to pull out my thumb and bend it across and crease it. So I'm bending my thumb down and creasing it because now I want to make it look like my hand is holding all of these flowers. I am going to find that other finger that I had under there, and I'm going to bend that one over. So again, I'm just bending that finger right down on top of all of my amazing flowers. I am going to bend in all of my other fingers too to make it look like my hand is holding my bouquet. There we go. I'm going to press it down so I know all of my glue from my flower stems stuck and I know my hand stuck. And once you like the way that it looks, you can either leave your fingers so they are just bent and sticking up, or you can glue them down so everything is flat on your paper. You can also decide if you want to leave your flowers so they are sticking up, or if you want to glue the tops of your flowers down on your paper too. You are going to have some extra blank space around in your background, so maybe you want to write a message to whoever you're going to give your picture to. Or you can draw other flowers or other decorations back there with your crayon. Once you're done with your picture, you can take a photo or video of it and upload it on my Canvas page. I can't wait to see all the bright, colorful, different flowers you guys have created. Try your best, have fun, and get creative, and I'll see you soon. Bye!